Hello, welcome to my channel Holy Moly. Subscribe our channel Holy Moly and become part of our community with so many interesting contents. Today, we're diving into the mysterious and chilling world of the supernatural with 6 famous ghost stories from Asia. If you're ready for some spine-tingling tales, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our haunting content. Now, let's embark on this ghostly journey through the heart of Asia.
Our first chilling story takes us to Japan to explore about the KAPPA, or river demons. For the light-hearted side of this Halloween edition, we would like to present you the quirky river demons as found in Japanese folklore, a culture rich in supernatural tales of ghosts and fantastic creatures. No list would be complete without the KAPPA. Spirits of the natural world and ghosts are deeply embedded in Japanese religion, history, and culture. And for this last offering for our Halloween edition, there is even a sushi roll named after it, the kappamaki, or cucumber roll. Kappas love cucumbers. What strange little things they are. They are said to be roughly humanoid in form and about the size of a child. They have a shell like a turtle, green scaly skin, and a plate on top of their heads that must always be brimming with water to stay alive. These uniquely Japanese supernatural beings live in Japan's lakes, streams, and rivers. In Shintoism, kappas are respected as gods of water, and statues of them can sometimes be seen at shrines around Japan. Kappa quirks include having a huge appetite for cucumbers, hence the kappamaki, and for never being able to break a promise. Of the more gruesome legends about them, it is also said that they love to pull lost children and animals into the water to drown and eat, perhaps with a side dish of fresh crunchy cucumber. Next, we travel to Indonesia and Malaysia to explore the legend of the Pontianak, or Kuntilanak, a vengeful spirit believed to be the ghost of a woman who died tragically. Brace yourselves for tales of her ghostly revenge and the hair-raising encounters with this supernatural entity. Indonesian folklore features a wide variety of tales about animist ghosts and spirits, and the so-called Pontianak is perhaps the most notorious of all. In Southeast Asian cultures, swamps are considered eerie places where nature's spirits dwell and spook the living. Legend has it that the area in western Kalimantan at the crossing point of the Kapuas and Landak rivers was haunted by Pontianaks. The Pontianak is a vengeful spirit that takes the form of a beautiful woman and preys on men, children, and vulnerable souls. Believed to be the spirit of a woman who died in childbirth or a violent death, they are one of the most powerful and feared spirits of Indonesian and Malaysian folklore. As bloodthirsty vampires, they eviscerate their victims with their long nails and dine on the internal organs. Despite the dire warnings shared with him by the local Dayak people, Sharif Abdurrahman al-Qadri, 1771-1808, decided to set up a trading post at this crossing point in the swamp. The Pontianaks soon made their presence felt on Abdurrahman and his builders, and the story goes that they fired cannon into the swamps to destroy the area considered to be the Pontianak's nest. A mosque and trading post were established, and the developing city was named Pontianak. The trading post became very successful, and Abdurrahman was made a sultan, the first sultan of Pontianak. Now let's venture to Vietnam to unravel the mischievous tales of the daughter of Huy Bi Hua. We are delving into one of Saigon's most chilling ghost stories, the haunting legend of the daughter of Huy Bi Hua. The corridors of the Ho Chi Minh City Museum of Art hide a tale of tragedy, secrecy, and a restless spirit. Back in 1934, when the trio of buildings was first built, it was a home to the family and business of Huy Bi Hua, an extremely wealthy real estate magnate who was reputed to own about 20,000 properties in the city. The main building used to be the family mansion, and it is apparently haunted by the ghost of Huy's daughter. The story goes that she contracted leprosy during a city-wide epidemic and was confined to a bedroom on the upper floor. During that time, leprosy was thought of as more of a curse than what it really is, a disease. Ever superstitious and conscious of their public image, the family decided to cover up the fact that their daughter was ill with leprosy and announced that she had died from a mysterious illness, which they then followed with a public funeral to put the matter to rest. However, the truth is Hua's daughter was locked away in her room, with her meals slid through a slot at the bottom of the door. They kept her locked in her room for years until the loneliness and misery of being locked away eventually drove her insane, and she took her own life. Multiple versions of this story have claimed that she hanged herself, while an alternate story claims that she burned herself alive. Since then, many people have reported seeing the ghostly figure of a woman roaming the halls of the building and heard the plaintive sound of someone crying in the dead of the night. Our penultimate ghost story brings us to the Yellow Ribbon Lady Ma Pai Wa in Myanmar, where known as the guardian spirit of cemeteries and graveyards in Myanmar. Ma Pai Wa has made her home in these lonely places of death. She takes a human form and appears as a woman with long, flowing black hair. In the dark of night, at midnight, she hoists a coffin onto her shoulder and leaves the cemetery and heads into the nearby village or town. In her role as a harbinger of death, her long hair flowing in the spectral breeze that accompanies her shuffling gait, she seeks out the home of the soon-to-die. On arriving at the home of the doomed, she places the coffin on their doorstep, and before long, someone in that household, and sadly, usually a child, will sicken and die. In the late 1990s, Ma Pai Wa appeared in the dreams of a monk in Cayenne State, and through these visions, Ma Pai Wa announced her intention to eat the flesh of babies. After much deliberation, the abbot suggested that people should encourage her to dine on dogs instead. Subsequently, security-conscious parents sought to protect their newborn babies by posting signs in front of their homes, saying, "Our baby's flesh is bitter, but the dog's flesh is sweet." Man's best friend saves the day yet again, this time, though, as dish of the day for the Yellow Ribbon Lady. Our journey continues to Japan, where we encounter the enigmatic NOPPERA-BO, a faceless ghost that lurks in the shadows. Walking on a dark and lonely road at night, you encounter a person turned away. When the person turns, they reveal that they have no face. This is the faceless ghost from Japan out to scare their victims. They appear as ordinary humans, except they have no face. And where the features were supposed to be, there is just a blank slate instead of a face. They are called faceless ghosts, but actually, they are shapeshifters that take on the appearance of humans. Therefore, they are considered more like a yokai, Japanese monster demon, rather than a classical yurei, ghost. They will mostly be seen with their back to lure the human closer to them, often in disguise as a young woman. But when she turns, she reveals that she has no face and is just a blank canvas. No eyes, no mouth, and no nose. Finally, we explore the vampire-like creature. The Pishachas in Hindu theology are believed to feed on the flesh of both the living and the dead, and horrifically, they are particularly fond of dining on pregnant women. Described as having a human-like form, with protruding red eyes and bulging veins all over their bodies, they are a particularly unpleasant-looking demon. Pishachas haunt cremation and burial grounds, abandoned homes, and places where violent deaths have occurred. In more modern times, they are said to haunt places such as discos and nightclubs, where they feed on negative energies in what are seen as vice-ridden venues, and where they look to possess vulnerable individuals. An ancient spirit that has been around since creation, the Pishacha have their own language, known as PISHACHA. They are believed to possess the paranormal ability to become invisible and to shapeshift and assume any forms at will. These ancient and tricky spirits can possess minds, driving their possessed human to negative thoughts and behaviors, and feeding on the conflict and misery that arises as a result. The possession can drive the possessed to insanity. Special mantras are needed to exorcise these harmful spirits. To keep the PISHACHA satiated and at bay, they are given their share of offerings during certain religious functions and festivals.
And there you have it, my brave viewers. 6 famous ghost stories from Asia that will leave you questioning the boundaries between the living and the supernatural. If you enjoyed this journey into the paranormal, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and let me know in the comments which story sent shivers down your spine. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Join our community of thrill seekers, hit that subscribe button, and ring the notification bell for more ghostly adventures. Until next time, stay spooky, stay curious, and I'll catch you in the next haunted tale. Thanks for watching.